Hey y'all, welcome to my week 34 post VSG update. How are you? I hope you're all doing well. I am feeling great, really good this week, which is certainly a change of events from last week, no, isn't it? Um, so let me tell you, I had vertical sleeve gastrectomy on October 20th, 2016 in Morristown, New Jersey at Morristown Medical Center. My high weight starting weight day of surgery was 265. I'm 5'8", 30 years old. Last week I came to you at 183.7, and this week I come to you at 180.3. So that is a 3.4 pound loss for the week and 84.7 pounds lost overall since surgery. Also, only 0.3 pounds away from being in the 170s, which I am so excited about. I am thrilled with what happened this week, and let me just talk you through it because it has been quite a week. So, I told you last week that I was going to be in training all week this week, and my concern was that I wouldn't have access to a refrigerator and microwave like I normally do to pack my lunches and like be well prepared. And as you guys know, I am very much like a tracker and a planner, and I have to know like the stats on everything before I eat it, and I have to track it in my Fitness Pal, otherwise it like doesn't go in my mouth because I feel like then chaos reigns. And they had told us in advance that there was going to be catered breakfast and catered lunch. Well, this training is being held at a country club, and it is gorgeous. It's like golf course with like beautiful landscaping and big open windows, and like there are weddings that are held here very often, and it's just like a beautiful reception hall. They have catered breakfast and lunch and afternoon snacks every day that have just been like phenomenal, none of which I have eaten, by the way. So the breakfasts have been a lot of fruit and yogurts, granolas, eggs, cottage cheese, that sort of thing. But like, I don't know what kind of yogurt this is, and I don't know what kind of cottage cheese this is, and I usually avoid fruit. So anyway, I've avoided breakfasts. For lunches, there have mostly been salads, like slathered in dressing, but like fancy salads, beautiful salads, but tons of dressing already on them. Side pastas, mashed potatoes, and then some kind of protein with some kind of creamy sauce. So maybe like a breaded chicken with an asparagus cream sauce, or beef tenderloin in like a red wine sauce. There was a pork tenderloin and like a soy glaze. All the things have sounded and looked really beautiful, but that's the sort of thing I would have no idea how to track in my Fitness Pal. So I've just avoided it altogether. So here's what I was here's what happened. Over the weekend, I was like really depressed. I was like, this is, I don't know, too much. I can't do it. I'm just like at a point where I felt like I was at a point where I could just accept that roughly 185 was going to be my weight forever, and I was just done losing weight, and I hate being on a diet all the time, and it's frustrating, and I'm not losing, and I don't know. I was just like really frustrated last weekend. And then I decided, you know what? I'm going to do liquids all week. Since I'm in this training anyway, I'm not going to be able to go to the gym, so I had thought about doing a liquids day in the past, but I had never done it before. So pre-op, I only had one day of clear liquids, and I totally didn't prepare for it at all. I basically just drank water all day, so by the end of the day, I was dizzy and lightheaded and like unfit to drive and very much ready for my surgery. And then the week post-op, I had clear liquids, but just water, no like protein liquids. But that week went by really quick, and I was sleeping a lot, so I don't really remember that either. So, I don't feel like that really counts. And then weeks 2, 3, and 4 post-op were like protein liquids slash purees slash, not really soft foods, purees, I guess. But I didn't ever puree any food. But I remember in weeks 2, 3, and 4, I was doing like protein shakes, yogurts, soft cheeses, cottage cheese, scrambled eggs, that sort of thing. So initially, I was like, this week in training, I'm going to do liquids all week. And then I was like, I don't know. Maybe I should do what I did in weeks 2, 3, and 4. So that's what I decided to do. And basically what it looked like was protein coffee for breakfast, protein shake for lunch. In the afternoon, I'd have a yogurt. And when I got home from work, I'd have a string cheese. And then for dinner each day this week, I had like very soft, kind of mild dinners. So the first day I had 2 eggs. Tuesday I had salmon. Yesterday I had scallops. And today I had grouper. So really kind of mild dinners. And that's it. Each of these days I've drank a whole lot of water, like at least 96 ounces, if not more. So what has been the result? Well, the result was that I lost 3.4 pounds, but also I have felt great, like so good. My fear going into a liquids day was that I was going to be like so tired and so sluggish and like foggy headed. And I was like, well, it's okay because I'm in a training anyway, so if I'm like half asleep, who cares? Well, that has not been the case at all. I have felt like alert and energetic, and I just feel really good, actually. Like, I almost feel like I could keep doing this. Maybe not forever, but for a while, for the next couple weeks, maybe. And so then I kind of look back on my MyFitnessPal and what I really did this week. And ultimately, what I did was I cut out my morning snack and I cut out my after dinner snack, which ended up cutting out about 300 to 400 calories. So instead of eating about 1100, which is what I was doing before for the last like several weeks or months, this whole week I was in the neighborhood of like 600 to 700 calories, which is, very low compared to where I had been. So, by increasing my caloric deficit, I think that's really what contributed to my weight loss this week. But like I said, it wasn't that hard because ultimately I only cut out my morning snack and my nighttime snack. I think going forward, I'm not going to continue doing shakes for lunch because I'm just so tired of like sweets all the time. I just want something savory. So I think if I go back to my chicken sausage that I had been doing for lunch, my calories will still be about the same, actually. So if I still do protein coffee in the morning, the chicken sausage and accoutrement for lunch, yogurt in the afternoon, string cheese or whatever when I get home, and like a gentle dinner, I'll still be in the neighborhood of like 700 calories. And if I continue drinking a bunch of water, I feel really good. I'm getting like more than 100 grams protein, and my carbs have been super low this week, just kind of like by chance. I wasn't like actively planning for that, but I've been like under 20 grams of carbs. So that obviously contributed too, right? Because so caloric deficit is like the first thing that impacts weight loss. Second thing is, the reason low carb helps is because if you're not eating a lot of carbs, your body's burning fat for fuel instead. And I don't think I'm in ketosis. Well, I don't know. I don't know that much about keto, but like I haven't been doing high fat necessarily. But when you're not eating a lot of carbs, your body has to burn fat for fuel, and your body uses more calories to use fat than it does for normal foods. So that kind of increases your caloric deficit also. From what I've read, research online or whatever, I might be totally wrong. And, you guys research what happens on a low-carb diet. You're more than welcome to do that on the internet. But from what I've seen, that's why low-carb works, is because it takes more energy for your body to use fat for fuel than it takes to use carbs for fuel. And if you're low carbs, then your body is like forced to use fat instead. So that was the second thing. And then the third thing is that like in terms of literal volume of how much food I've been putting in my stomach, it's been less, right? So like I also haven't been doing a lot of vegetables this week, which in the last several weeks I've been eating a lot of vegetables. And even though zucchini is very low in calories, it takes up a lot of space, like physical space in your stomach. And so I definitely feel like I've gotten my restriction back this week. Human skin and tissue in general is elastic, and our stomachs post-op are so small to begin with. I think we can stretch them a little bit, but I think a few days of doesn't have to be liquids, but like small in volume kind of foods helps your stomach tissue contract a little. And so I haven't felt hungry, like, at all. This like totally blows my mind. When I finished day 1, I was like in shock. I kept waiting for like a terrible headache to happen or for something terrible to happen, but it never did. I felt great. And so then like success felt like it was snowballing, and day 2 and day 3 and today was day 4, and I feel like I can keep going. Like, I definitely feel good. As far as like the psychological aspect, I love like snowballing success. I did weigh every day this week, but you know, this was one of those weeks where getting on the scale was encouraging and motivating me to keep going. So, you know, it was okay. The only thing I kind of struggled with was like, I realized I have this like FOMO about food. You know, I like I described earlier, all the food at this like reception hall looked absolutely wonderful all week. And I really kind of feared missing out on enjoying good food. And the way I kind of dealt with that was that each day the kitchen actually allowed me to put together a little takeout box, and I would gather some veggies and the mashed potatoes and whatever the meat was, and they would store it for me. And then on the way home, I would I've been giving it to my husband for dinner. So even though I haven't been able to eat it, he has, and somehow it's like, that works for me. Like, at least someone's getting to enjoy this really good food. I know that's maybe a bit of a stretch, but I really recognize that this fear of missing out on good food has been my only source of mental conflict this week. But otherwise, like I said, I've been feeling really, really good. Also, it's been like in the 90s in New Jersey, so finally warm and wonderful, and it's like not humid here at all, so you can like sit outside and not get sweaty. And I think the fact that I've lost almost 85 pounds probably also helps me not get sweaty. But I've just been sitting outside like during our lunch breaks and during our breaks throughout the day, and just feeling the sun on my skin just feels really, really good. So I think that's been helping. That's been helping too. And so I guess the point of all this is to say that, I mean, I'm by no way advocating for whatever this diet is that I'm doing. I guess it's kind of low carb, yeah, sure. Or it's kind of like the up day, down day thing that Erin was doing. I think it's akin in some ways to a lot of diets, but not particularly. It's just my week 2 post-op diet. That's all it really is. But the thing about weight loss surgery is that it helps you stick to whatever diet you want to do. Pick one and go with it. And that's the good thing about weight loss surgery, is that, you know, at the beginning you kind of lose weight almost regardless of what you do, but that is very short-lived. After that, you have to actively work at it. And the good thing about weight loss surgery is that it very, very much helps you stick to a diet plan. So I am just feeling very grateful about that this week. And yeah, that's where I am. I don't know if I'm gonna keep doing all liquids. Like I said, I'll probably just keep going with the I'm gonna keep aiming for the 600 to 700 calories per day. All of my food diaries are public on MyFitnessPal, so if you request to be my friend and if it's not obvious that you're a weight loss surgery person, just put that in the comments or whatever, and I will gladly accept you if you're interested in seeing what I'm eating. I do log that every day in there. But I feel really good. That's the point of all this. I feel fantastic, actually. So I feel like, 170s, I'm coming for you. I will probably be there tomorrow, but we'll see. And yeah. Oh, I did want to mention one more thing, kind of unrelated. I ran out of chlorophyll. Do you guys remember maybe 3 months ago I told you I started taking chlorophyll pills, triple chlorophyll that I got at GNC, because Britt Brat recommended it and Esther recommended it as a good way to help with keto breath, or just bad breath that you get as a result of high protein diets, which I was definitely experiencing. And so I started taking chlorophyll. And I didn't really know if it was helping or working. I didn't notice a huge difference in my life. And so when they ran out, it was a 90-day supply, which is why I know it was 3 months ago. When it ran out, I was just I'm not going to get more. It wasn't really, I don't think it was really doing anything for me. Well, I ran out like 2 weeks ago, and let me just tell you that coincidentally, about 2 weeks ago, I stopped going to the bathroom. And not in a bad way. Like, I didn't feel like I had to go and couldn't. I just didn't feel like I needed to go. Whereas over the last 3 months, especially, I have been very, very regular. So maybe like 2 days ago, I was like, it's been a really long time since I went to the bathroom. So maybe I should buy some more chlorophyll. So I did. And by coincidence, that day, I was able to go. And again yesterday. And again today. So I'm not saying that there's a direct like causation there, but there is certainly a correlation. Maybe it's just coincidence. I don't know. But you guys read up on the benefits of chlorophyll. There's tons of benefits to chlorophyll if you look it up online. But I think it really does help with the bad breath and like general body odors that might happen as a result of high protein diets. And I think it also helps with bathroom concerns. So that is where I am this week. Thanks so much for watching. How are you guys doing? Let me know in the comments. Thank you all so much to everyone who reached out to me as a result of my video last week. I realized in hindsight that it was apparent how down I was feeling. Sometimes I'm like, oh, fake it till you make it. And I felt like at the time when I recorded that video, I felt like I was just being my normal self. But several people reached out to me and were like, hey, I could tell you were feeling kind of down. And I was like, aw, thanks, you guys. Like, you really notice and you really care. And, sometimes when you're feeling really down, or maybe this is just me, I feel more introverted and more, like, in my shell and reluctant to seek help, and reach out to people. So that's hard for me. And so, sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, I want to express gratitude to everyone who left a kind word or comment or reached out to me directly concerning last week. That is what we are all here for. That's what this community is for. You guys are amazing, and I love you. And I will talk with you soon. Oh, wait, on Tuesday, I'm going to see my endocrinologist, so I will tell you about my blood work results. And on Tuesday will be my 8-month surgiversary. So I do plan to do skim flick and side-by-side pictures before and after and all that. So I will talk with you on Tuesday. All right, have a good weekend. Bye.